to go ahead and open up. I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller, but I still want to be able to let you see it. And I'm going to open up my my browser so we can see Popplet. This is what Popplet would look like when you go to it on a computer, and you just do click on the link that's provided for you in the bundle, and it's popplet.com, and I'm just going to hit try it out. All right, and this part will just take you through the steps on how to make a Popplet, and we can do that on an iPad, so it should be very similar and familiar with it. You double click to make a Popplet. You type in the Popple. To change colors, you can change the colors by clicking on the little rectangle down at the bottom next to the text. You can make the size of the Popple different, the text size different. You may even draw in a Popple. You can add an image to a Popple, but we're not going to do that because we don't have images saved to our computers at this time. But if you're using an iPad, you could save and do a safe search by putting clip art at the end of Groundhog. Click and drag to resize the Popplet if I need to fit all of my words in there. And move a Popple by dragging it. And then we can move the Popplet board around. So we are ready to start making our Popplet. And I'm going to start right in the middle. I'm going to double click and I'm going to type in the Groundhog. I want this, this Popple is going to be about a groundhog, or about the groundhog. And I want to list facts about the groundhog. So I'm going to just start over here. If I look in this first section, I can divide them up by sections. What is it? What is a woodchuck? What is a marmot? And it gives the question. Those are similar to subheadings that we would see in the text because it's bolded. And we know that in this section, I'm going to get information about what it is, what a woodchuck is. So I should be able to answer those questions. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to add 5 facts. So this first fact I'm going to pull from this first section, and it says it's a large brown rodent with a squirrel-like head and a bushy tail. I like that. That's a fact. I can prove that. I can look at it and see that yes, it's large, it's brown, it kind of looks like a squirrel, and has a bushy tail. I can look at that and see that. So I'm just going to take that fact straight from the text. Facts come straight from the text. All right, it's a large brown rodent with a squirrel-like head and a bushy tail. And remember, I can move it by clicking on it and moving it out. All right. And I am going to add something. I'm going to put F colon, and I know that that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to go on to my next session. What is a woodchuck? Well, let's see if I can answer that question. It's another name for a groundhog. So let's put that in there. Let's say woodchuck, I might have heard of that before, is another name for a groundhog. All right. In the next session, or section, what is a marmot? The marmot is the groundhog's first cousins. Both are members of the animal group called Marmota. There are 14 Marmota species, 1 groundhog, and 13 kinds of marmots. And I'm going to pull one fact from there. And the marmot is the groundhog's first cousin. So I'm going to put that in here. I like that fact. That's interesting. That's something that I didn't know before. So when you're thinking about facts and when you do our next part by yourself, you want to try to pull out facts that you didn't know before. Don't just put things in there that you already knew. And since this is new, a lot of it should be very new to you. All right, I'm going to go on to the next. Where does the groundhog live? It lives in fields and rocky areas in the eastern United States and northern Canada. I'm just going to say that it lives in fields. I think that is good. I don't need to continue on that it lives in the eastern United States and northern Canada. It lives in fields and rocky areas. All right, and I want to do one more fact. So I want to really look over here, and I really like the part that talks about it hibernating. I find that interesting, that about it hibernating. So I'm going to see. Notice how I just click back on the groundhog, the one in the middle, and I just am making my new Popplet by dragging that. And I double click on the inside to type. So I'm going to put something about it hibernating, and I really thought that this was interesting, that it hibernates, but it reworms itself and wakes up every 6 to 8 hours. It stays awake for 2 to 12 hours and goes back to sleep. So I'm going to say it rewarms, and I know that's after hibernation. It rewarms itself after, and wakes up every 6 to 8 days. Okay, and since those are facts, I'm gonna go back in. I did forget to do that. I'm putting that F in front of them so I know that those are my facts. F stands for facts. And then I want to put in 2 opinions. And an opinion is what I think. It's my thoughts. That's my opinion. Everybody has the right. You might hear you have the right to your opinion. It's not true. It's not false. It's what you believe. It's what you think. And so I believe the groundhog is the most interesting animal. Animal. There we go. And I have my O for opinion, and the word believe is a signal word for opinion, and the word most is another signal word. And then I want one more. I'm going to stretch this over. I can drag it over to make another one. I'm going to put my O for opinion, and I need another opinion that I think, that I feel. And I could say, when it talks down here, what else can it do? It can whistle when it's alarmed. The groundhog also can whistle in the spring. And I might say an opinion for its whistling, and I could say that the groundhog has the loudest whistle. Now, how would I prove, if I were to prove that, how could I prove that? I would have to listen to every single thing that whistles. And is that even possible to listen to every single thing and determine which one is the loudest? So this EST on the end of there is a clue that that's an opinion, an opinion. So we are going to drag our whole Popplet, and I click on the outside of the Popplet to be able to see it. If you make a Popplet um, on your iPad, you are going to be able to post that on to our Padlet so that everybody can see what you made. If you make a Popplet on the computer, then just have your Popplet on there and that is fine. Make sure that you have all of your facts and your opinions that are needed, and that is all that you need to do. You do not need to send it to us or anything like that, but you will have to pick some of your favorite um, or your favorite facts and an opinion to share on the discussion. And I'm gonna leave that as an option for those of you who are using an iPad to put it on a Padlet to share with us, because you will also need to put your facts and opinion on the discussion board as well. So I loved reading about the groundhog and teaching you more about facts and opinions, and I hope that you are able to pull out those facts from a story. Um, they're directly in the story. They are true statements that we can prove either by reading a book about them that says that, checking on the computer, looking in the dictionary, something that is going to support that. An opinion is a thought, a feeling, a belief um, about something that necessarily cannot be proven. So, thank you and good luck.